Hello, my AP friends. Let's finish up Lear Act 3. So, in this video, we're going to read Act 3, Scene 7. So, this is back at Gloucester's castle, and we have Cornwall, Regan, Goneril, Edmund. They all come in. Remember that Edmund is now the Earl of Gloucester. He has that title. And so, Cornwall speaks to his sister-in-law, Goneril, post speedily to my lord your husband, show him this letter. He gives her a paper. The army of France is landed. Seek out the traitor Gloucester. So some servants exit. So he gives Goneril this letter that says, look, France is here. We're probably going to have to go fight a war. So tell Albany so that we can get our armies together and we'll go fight them together. So Regan says, hang him instantly. Whoa, we're not even going to ask him what was going on. We're not going to have a trial. No, we're just going to hang him instantly. And then Goneril says, no, I have a better suggestion. Pluck out his eyes. Pluck out his eyes. Leave him to my displeasure. Remember that is Cornwall's jam. He loves hurting people. He gets off on it. He's like, please, please, ladies, let me do this. This is my expertise. Edmund, keep you our sister company. The revenges we are bound to take upon your traitor's father are not fit for your beholding. Advise the Duke where you are going to a most festinate perspiration. We are bound to the like. Our posts shall be swift and intelligence betwixt us. Farewell, dear sister. Farewell, my lord of Gloucester. So, we're going to highlight right here. And he says, Edmund, we want you to go with Goneril. Take the letter and keep her company, which is not a good thing. We do not want the two most evil characters together, right? That's bad. And then he says, it's also, we want you to leave because what we're going to do to your father, we don't want you to witness. It's going to be bad. So Oswald comes in. Oswald. How now? Where's the king? My lord of Gloucester hath conveyed him hence. Some 5 or 6 and 30 of his knights, hot questresses after him, met him at gate, who with some other of the lord's dependents are gone with him to Dover, where they boast to have well-armed friends. So some of the knights came back to help take Lear to Dover. We're going to highlight this stuff. And he has a couple other people that are going to help him go. But not very many knights came back. 5 or 6 and 30. So like 35 or 36. Cornwall says, get horses for your mistress. Oswald exits. Farewell, sweet lord and sister. Edmund, farewell. And then Goneril and Edmund leave. Go! Seek the traitor Gloucester, pinion him like a thief, bring him before us. So some more servants exit. Though well we may not pass upon his life without the form of justice, yet our power may do a courtesy to our wrath, with which men may blame but not control. So then the servants bring Gloucester in. He's all tied up and he's, what are you doing? Who's there? The traitor? And Regan gets in his face. Ingrateful fox, 'tis he. Bind fast his corky arms. What means your graces? Good my friends, consider. You are my guests. Do not do me no foul play, friends. Now, this is an important line because remember at the beginning when a couple scenes ago, when Cornwall and Regan came to Gloucester's castle, they ate bread and salt, which was a contract. They said, we will do you no harm. We are your guests. And he's calling upon that social practice. He says, you can't do me any harm. You are my guests under my roof. Cornwall, bind him, I say. Hard, hard, O filthy traitor. Unmerciful lady as you are, I'm none. To this chair bind him. So the servants bind him. Villain thou shalt find. Then Regan goes and plucks Gloucester's beard. Now, that seems like it's not that big a deal, and I would imagine that Gloucester has this large beard, but it does. If you take large handfuls of hair and are pulling them out, it hurts. So she's plucking him, and he goes, pluck, So they're torturing him. And Cornwall is just having the time of his, he loves this, right? He's getting off on it. By the kind gods, 'tis most ignobly done to pluck me by thy beard. So white and such a traitor? Naughty lady, these hairs which thou dost ravish from my chin will quicken and accuse thee. I am your host. With robbers' hands my hospitable favors you should not ruffle thus. What will you do? He's like, this has never happened. You don't break this social contract that we have. Come, sir, what letters had you late from France? Be simple answered, for we know the truth. So they're like, tell us what you've done. And what confederacy have you with the traitors late footed in the kingdom? To whose hands you have set the lunatic king? Speak. I have a letter guessingly set down, which came from one that's of a neutral heart and not from one opposed. So he says, I have a letter from Cordelia, essentially. Cunning and false. Where hast thou sent the king? To Dover. Wherefore to Dover? Wast thou not charged at peril? Wherefore to Dover? Let him answer that. I am tied to the stake, and I must stand the course. Wherefore to Dover? Because I would not see thy cruel nails pluck out his poor old eyes, nor thy fierce sister in his anointed flesh stick boorish fangs, the sea, and such a storm as his bare head in hell-black night endured to have buoyed up and quenched the stellid fires. Yet poor old heart, he holp the heavens to rain if wolves at thy gate howled that stern time that shouldst have said, good porter, turn the key, all cruels else subscribe, but I shall see the winged vengeance overtake such children. So this whole thing we're going to highlight in green. So he says, I did it because he is the rightful king and you should be respecting him. He gave you everything and I would not see you harm him. And he specifically says, pluck out his eyes, which they said they were going to do to Gloucester, right? That was the suggestion. And it's this whole like symbolism behind the eyes, right? Because we have King Lear who doesn't see what's going on in his kingdom as he's splitting it up with his daughters. And we also have Gloucester who doesn't see what's happening with his children. And they're going to have the physical manifestation of sight taken away from them before they can actually see, right? When they can symbolically see. Cornwall, see it shalt thou never. Fellows, hold the chair. Upon these eyes of thine I'll set my foot. We're going to highlight this. He says, you will never see that stuff. He that will think to live till he be old, give me some help. So the servants hold the chair, and then Cornwall plucks his eyes out. Ah! Blah! Blah! So his eyes all hanging down, and maybe he uses a spoon or a knife. I don't know, but bah, blood everywhere. Oh, cruel you gods! One side will mock the other, to the other too. If you see vengeance. So then a servant stops them, right? Hold your hand, my lord. I have served you ever since I was a child, but better service have I never done you than now to bid you hold. He says, stop. How now, you dog? If you will wear a beard upon your chin, I'd shake it on this quarrel. What do you mean? My villain, Cornwall, my villain. And he draws. He loves this. He's like, yes, I get to fight. Nay, then, come on and take the chance to anger. So Regan, they start fighting. Ching, 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 ching. Regan comes and grabs a sword from another attendant. Give me thy sword. A peasant stands up thus. She takes the sword and runs the servant in the back, stabs in the back, and he dies. He kills him. Oh, I am slain. My lord, you have one lie left to see some mischief on him. Oh! And then he dies. Cornwall goes back to Gloucester. Lest it see more, prevent it. Out, vile jelly! And he forces Gloucester's other eye out. Oh, this one. Oh, my eye! Ah! Now, out, vile jelly is a really great line. And I often will say that when I am making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Out, vile jelly! Where is thy luster now? all dark and comfortless. Where's my son Edmund? Edmund, enkindle all the sparks in nature to quit this horrid act. Now, this is sad right here, because in his pain, in his lowest point, he calls for the son that he thinks is loyal to him. Because remember, he still believes that Edgar is a traitor and that he's trying to kill him. And so he calls for the son that could help him, right? And Regan says, out, treacherous villain, thou callest on him that hates thee. It was he that made the overture of thy treasons to us. Why, who is too good to pity thee? Ouch. So not only has he had his beard plucked, not only has he been tortured, not only has he been called a villain and a traitor and a liar, and then had his eyes pulled from his head, he now has to bear the pain of knowing that his son, who he thought was loyal, has betrayed him. Ouch. Gloucester, oh my follies! Then Edgar was abused. Kind gods, forgive me that and prosper him. So now, symbolically, Gloucester cannot see, or I mean literally, Gloucester cannot see, but symbolically he does. He finally sees what's been happening, and he says, Edgar, I'm sorry, forgive me. Excuse me. Go, thrust him out at gates and let him smell his way to Dover. So kick him out. So some servants take Gloucester out. How is it, my lord? How look you? Now, Cornwall in the battle received a hurt. It doesn't say that but like his arm or something, he got hit by the servant. And Cornwall says, I have received a hurt. Follow me, lady. Turn out thy eyeless villain. Throw this slave upon a dunghill. He talks about the servant. Regan, I bleed apace. Untimely comes this hurt. Give me your arm. Now, that's bad news, because in Shakespeare plays, when someone gets hurt, even if they're not dead, they're going to die. And so when you get a little hurt on you, that's it. You're over. So we're probably not going to see Cornwall anymore because he's been hurt. So the servants then, so Cornwall and Regan exit, and the servants are talking. They're like, what just happened? I never care what wickedness I do if that man come to good. If she live long and in the end meet the old course of death, women will all turn monsters. Let's follow the earl and get the bedlam to lead him where he would. His roguish madness allows itself to anything. So one servant says, we're going to throw Gloucester out and we're going to get poor Tom to lead him around so that we don't have to do it. Third servant, go thou. I'll fetch some flax and whites of eggs to apply to his bleeding face. Now heaven help him. So they're kind of this mixed opinion. They don't want to be disloyal to the people that they serve, Cornwall and Regan, but they also don't want to do extra work, and they are like, this, what just happened? That was crazy. All right, so that is the end of Act 3. I hope you really liked that scene. That was pretty cool, and lots of stuff happened. So we're past the climax of the play, and we're on the downslope now. And next time we'll start up with Act 4, Scene 1. All right, see ya. Bye.